Most men don't fail because they're weak. They fail because they get tired of starting over. Every time you quit, you dig another grave. And somewhere inside that grave lies a version of you that almost made it. That's what I call the discipline graveyard. It's not a place, it's a pattern. The pattern of men who burn with motivation for a few weeks, then vanish into comfort. The gym streaks that died after a month. The morning routines that fell apart. The habits that felt easy until life got heavy. It's where ambition goes to rot. Where men who wanted to change end up burying the proof that they once had potential. The discipline graveyard isn't filled with losers. It's filled with men who gave up right before it started working. So the question isn't, will you end up here? The real question is, how many times will you die before you stop burying yourself? When you first discover discipline, it feels powerful. You wake up early, your chest is full of fire, and for once you feel like you're finally becoming that man you always imagined. You start posting progress, feeling unstoppable. You even start preaching it. Discipline over motivation. You think you've cracked the code, but here's the truth no one tells you. Discipline is easy at the start, because it's still new, still exciting, still giving you dopamine hits for every small win. You confuse excitement with growth, and when that excitement fades, you think something's wrong with you. You start doubting the process, questioning if it's worth it. That's where most men die for the first time, not because they couldn't handle pain, but because they couldn't handle boredom. Discipline isn't a fire. It's a slow, cold burn, and most men can't stand the silence it brings. They want results, not repetition. They want recognition, not solitude. So they walk away, quietly, without ever realizing they've already dug their own grave. Consistency dies quietly. It doesn't end with a dramatic breakdown. It ends with, "I'll do it tomorrow." That's how the discipline graveyard keeps expanding. Every time you choose comfort over consistency, you add another tombstone. And the worst part? You start forgiving yourself too easily. You say, "It's okay, I'll start again Monday." But Monday never comes. Because once you lose momentum, you start building comfort. And comfort builds walls higher than failure ever could. Failure hurts. Comfort kills. Slowly, quietly, without ever making a sound. And while you're busy scrolling, numbing, justifying, someone else out there is still burning. Still showing up, still surviving the boredom you couldn't. That's the brutal truth about discipline. It doesn't reward talent, it rewards obsession. The world doesn't care how disciplined you were. It only respects who you still are when no one's watching. Most men mistake discipline for control. They think it's about mastering time, habits, routines. But real discipline is about mastering yourself. It's about how you act when motivation dies, when progress stalls, when no one notices your effort. Everyone loves discipline until it stops being glamorous, until it becomes invisible, until you realize no one's clapping for you anymore. That's when most people leave. That's when they bury their potential in the graveyard and call it taking a break. But a man who's truly disciplined doesn't seek validation. He seeks peace in repetition. He finds beauty in monotony. He treats every small act like a prayer, unseen, unpraised, unbroken. That's real power. Not the one that looks strong on the outside, but the one that remains steady when everything inside starts to crumble. Every man who's ever changed his life has died in this graveyard. The difference is, he didn't stay buried. He dug his way out, bleeding, tired, angry, but unbroken. You can't escape the graveyard. You can only return to it stronger. Discipline isn't something you master once. It's something you keep reviving every time it dies inside you. You will fall. You will fail. You will break your streaks, lose your focus, disappoint yourself 100 times. But that's not weakness. That's the process. You're supposed to die here. Because only men who've been buried by their comfort can understand what it takes to claw their way back out. So when you fall again, don't start over. Continue. Pick up the shovel, unearth your own fire, and keep going. The discipline graveyard isn't just a metaphor, it's a mirror. It shows you what you've lost and what you can still become. Every time you visit it, you get a choice. You can mourn what died, or you can resurrect it. Most men never understand this. Discipline isn't a state, it's a cycle. You die, you rise, you fall again. And every resurrection makes you quieter, colder, sharper. Discipline isn't about perfection. It's about refusing to stay dead. That's how you outlast them. Not by staying motivated, not by being flawless, but by becoming unkillable. The discipline graveyard doesn't scare you anymore, because now you know how to crawl out of it. If you've lost your way, good. It means you've lived. It means you've fought. Don't romanticize endless streaks. Don't worship the idea of never falling. Instead, worship the man who refuses to give up, no matter how many graves he's dug for himself. Because the truth is, you only find real strength when you've buried yourself 1,000 times and still decide to rise again. So if you're standing in the graveyard tonight, surrounded by everything you failed to keep alive, don't be ashamed. Kneel, touch the dirt, and whisper to yourself, "I'm not done yet."